Chapter 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Angry male star. Male star with 800 thoughts in his mind. Male star who is thinking of a trick to take revenge. Male star with a twisted heart, hovering on the edge of extremes. Note, this top male star is jealous. The probability of you encountering danger is 100%. The probability of being able to solve the trouble quietly is 0. The strong physique is enough for you to face any trouble, but the big noise is easy to attract attention. And the probability of becoming a guinea pig is 100%, that I was originally thinking about whether there was any other way, but the last reminder scared him into a cold sweat. This kid must not be kept. It seems that he can only try the underworld props he just got. The entry modifier in the prop column disappeared. A piece of information popped up in front of Lin Feng. Entry modifier consumption *1. Target has been moved. Please modify according to the read entry. Please be responsible for all consequences. Note, within 2 hours, any object that the target has touched can be freely modified. Wish you a happy life. It doesn't sound very serious, but Lin Feng likes it. Miss Chu, thank you, I'm leaving first. Well, be careful, that person is a star, very popular recently, but his quality is not very good. Just had an accident. If he troubles you, be sure to tell me. To be honest, this woman touched Lin Feng, as expected of a child from a wealthy family. Chu Feifei is too comprehensive. She is beautiful, has high quality, and high moral character, unlike the little star who got rich overnight, who is a villain and hates people. After saying goodbye to her, Lin Feng did not leave, but pretended to go to the public toilet. Outside the small window in the single room is Xiao Yucheng's villa. This villa is a circle smaller than Chu Feifei's, and the location is not as good as that one. There is still a big gap between celebrities and real rich second generations. A male celebrity walking, he will soon open the door to enter the villa. A healthy male celebrity, he walked towards the door of his home with a steady pace. Finally, he found that these information seemed to be a little different from what he usually saw. For example, there was a horizontal line under the word walking. He attached his consciousness and a drop-down menu appeared. There were 2 options, running and crawling. In the second piece of information, a horizontal line appeared under the 4-word steady pace, which were staggering and rolling and crawling. Lin Feng suddenly realized that this was not a random modification by himself, but a fixed entry. These 2 options obviously have no lethality. After using them, they will only make a little fool of themselves and can only play a prank. Seeing that Xiao Yucheng was about to enter the villa, Lin Feng couldn't help but feel a little anxious. It can't be that I think too much. The props have been used, and it is hard to take back the spilled water. It will disappear when the time is up. Is it just like that? Lin Feng's eyes swept around, and suddenly his eyebrows raised. His eyes burst into a gleam. The place where his eyes fell was the villa. However, many entries popped up in front of him, with rich content, much more than the target person's entries. This is obviously much more operable. A sturdy villa. Expensive villa, very good quality. High-end imported brand glass windows. It is a little worse than bulletproof glass. Sturdy water pipes, no rust inside, very well maintained. Sturdy roof. Even a level 10 typhoon cannot blow it down. Solid wood password lock security door. It can crush people to death if it falls down, but it is very sturdy, and the probability of falling down is 0. Lin Feng was speechless, watching the other party about to enter the house, but he had not found a breakthrough yet. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. How could he forget that he had a perspective eye? As long as the entry is related to him, it can be changed. The perspective changed at this moment, just like entering a time tunnel, piercing through the villa in a flash, and the internal situation was clear at a glance. A shaky vase, it will fall after 2 touches. There is an underline below the 2 touches, and the option displayed is 1 touch. Lin Feng's mind moved, and he found that the entry had changed. At this moment, Xiao Yucheng, who had changed into slippers, slipped and lost his balance. Just as he was about to fall, his right hand subconsciously supported the cabinet beside him. The vase on the top of the cabinet encountered external force, shook a few times, and actually fell down and hit him on the head. As the vase shattered, bright red blood flowed down his face. Xiao Yucheng covered his head and wailed in pain. Lin Feng was stunned. It was too against the will of heaven to play like this. He just wanted to try the props, but he died after trying it. Damn it, what's going on? Is the whole world against me? I'm going to make all of you ghosts pay the price. The boy screamed madly and took out his cell phone from his pocket, a high-quality fruit phone. It has no faults, runs stably, and will not explode. Lin Feng's heartbeat quickened, his eyes full of expectation. It's not serious to think about this entry, and there is a huge space for operation. Sure enough, when Lin Feng looked closely, he found that this entry had a lot of underlines. High quality, it has no faults, runs stably, and will not explode. For entries in one sentence, and Lin Feng was so happy after pulling down, good guy, this is definitely a killer, who needs to sleep and be confused. He covered his consciousness on the entry, and a menu with 4 horizontal lines appeared. At this moment, his back was cold and his chin was shivering. This kid is arrogant and domineering, and he has done many evil things. Even God can't stand it. The entry drop-down menu is actually the only option. The modified entry has also changed completely. A low-quality Apple phone, it has many faults, runs slowly, and is about to explode. Amipa, don't blame me if my buddy is blown up. Lin Feng looked at Xiao Yucheng. He had already struggled to get up, but the information above his head made him sweat profusely, and he was a little bit expectant in his heart. Top male star who is about to encounter a phone explosion and become blind. This is too miserable. Lin Feng didn't have time to be shocked. Suddenly a burst of sparks jumped in front of his eyes, and a ball of fire shot up into the sky. The phone that the kid was holding suddenly exploded, and he screamed and covered his face and rolled over, and the hand that held the phone was black, obviously burnt. Ah! Save me, my eyes hurt so much. Woo-woo, I can't see, it hurts so much. Is there anyone, come quickly, I'm dying, who can save me? I'll give you money, 1 million, 2 million, 100 million, it's all fine. Having been dominated by fear, Xiao Yucheng had already lost his mind. The male star whose eyes were blinded by glass fragments, his eyes are useless and he will be disabled for life. Lin Feng exhaled a breath of turbid air. His eyes were bright. It's not that he is cold-blooded, just because of a woman. This kid wants to kill him. All this is his own fault. Lin Feng was even a little worried. After all, disabled people can also protect themselves. Only 4 people are safe. Suddenly he laughed, and a new entry appeared in front of him. Chapter 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This time, the entry target is the chandelier on the top. The chandelier is firmly fixed, and there is no hidden danger at first glance. Unless there is an earthquake and the ceiling falls down, this lamp will never fall down in this life. Only Lin Feng can see the entry floating on the surface. A stable lamp will not fall. Lin Feng saw 2 horizontal lines below. There is still only one option in the drop-down menu for the 2 words stable and will not. After the modification, the entry has changed. A detached lamp will fall immediately. Xiao Yucheng just stood up and took a breath, and suddenly heard a creak sound from above his head. This kid's heart was pounding, and he felt something was wrong, but his body's reaction speed could not keep up. Ah! Don't! With a hysterical scream, the chandelier fell and shone on his face, making a contemptuous contact. The glass, plastic, screws and nails on the lamp were all shining on his face. How could a flesh and blood body withstand the torrent of steel? In the blink of an eye, his head was bloody and his facial features were indistinguishable. The kid rolled around on the ground, and the living room floor tiles were bright red in a short while. A thermos bottle, it is placed on the corner of the table, it will not fall without external force. Lin Feng smiled secretly. Didn't he find another entry that can be modified? When he saw the drop-down menu, he was dumbfounded. It was another entry without options, and they were all killer. This was going to kill him. Amipa, you can't blame me if you die. Lin Feng's consciousness covered the entry, and the next moment, his consciousness was completely reversed. A thermos bottle, it is placed on the corner of the table, it will fall immediately without external force. After the entry was modified, Lin Feng saw that the thermos bottle actually shook a few times, but Xiao Yucheng didn't touch the table at all. This scene is very strange, like encountering a supernatural event, and ordinary people will definitely be scared to death when they see it. Lin Feng came back to his senses, his pupils shrank, and the thermos fell and hit his neck. The bottle cap automatically fell off, and the boiling hot water entered through the collar of his t-shirt. The body of the top star has been riddled with holes. but his body seemed to have triggered some kind of defense mechanism, and the whole person collapsed. The originally fair skin turned blood red from the neck, and his face also turned red, with the blood mixed with it and his hair disheveled. He looked like a doomsday zombie, young male star whose blood sugar is about to reach 0. A male star who cannot receive treatment within an hour. His wounds will slowly deteriorate, become infected, and eventually die. I didn't expect it to really kill people. It's too cruel. This kid probably never dreamed that he would end his life in this way. Can't make too much noise, have to kill him quietly. The dog system seemed to know what he was thinking, and suddenly popped up a few intelligence. A fixed-line phone, stable signal, can make calls normally. Intact steel anti-theft door lock intact, can be opened and closed at will. Advanced community alarm system, no faults, press to report to the police. Glass door of just the right quality, will not break for the time being. TSK, you can't blame me for hating, there are really too many entries. Brother, go at ease, don't blame me, a woman's kindness will not accomplish anything great. If you keep this kind of disaster, if you get tricked, you will be the one who suffers. His consciousness attached to the entry, and he saw that the underlined option was indeed a single option. With a thought, the fatal entry was online, a fixed-line phone, no signal, can't make calls normally. An intact steel anti-theft door, the door lock is faulty and can't be opened and closed at will. An advanced community alarm system is faulty, and the alarm cannot be called to the police after pressing it. A glass door of poor quality will break soon. Lin Feng didn't dare to think about how beautiful the picture would be in a while, and no one could stand such a toss. He quietly retracted the perspective function, and his vision became normal. Then he heard screams, cries, and wails coming from the villa in the distance. This sound seemed to carry a sense of life, and he could hear a little bit of the guilt in the boy's heart, but it was too late. Lin Feng glanced in the direction of the villa and prepared to leave, but another entry appeared in front of him. The solid roof of the villa is about to be struck by lightning. It is unbreakable and will not collapse. Lin Feng swallowed his saliva, and sure enough, it was the only option in the drop-down menu. Soon the entry changed. The solid roof of the villa is about to be struck by lightning. It is fragile and will collapse immediately. Lin Feng exhaled, urinated in the toilet, put his hands in his pockets and walked away. Exit the toilet. Boom! The dark sky, the thick clouds flashed with lightning. The power of heaven is so terrifying that it is not something that human power can resist. Suddenly, a lightning bolt fell from the sky in the clouds and hit the roof directly. The deafening thunder scared Lin Feng to death. Fuck, this kid will not violate the law of heaven, right? Lin Feng stared at the pierced roof, stunned. I have never seen such an outrageous thing since I was a child. I saw with my own eyes that the thunder split the roof and thick black smoke slowly rose into the sky. It was very quiet inside, without any movement. A villa with a dead person, the owner was killed by thunder, and this place will become a haunted house. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and left the community with his hands in his pockets as if nothing had happened. Soon various alarms sounded, and the villa was surrounded by police, firefighters, and doctors in the community. The tragic accident scene in front of me was shocking. What kind of power could make a villa in a high-end community so miserable? Soon after, a charred figure was carried out, and the doctor quickly covered it with a white cloth. I don't know how the media got the news. When Xiao Yuqing's body was carried out, more than a dozen reporters rushed up and surrounded the stretcher. Many owners in the community also heard the noise and came out to watch the excitement. The scene was very chaotic. Lin Feng, the instigator, had already opened a private room in a business hotel and started watching short videos. My goodness, the news of Xiao Yuqing's death has spread all over the country. 9 out of 10 videos on the TikTok app are all reports about this incident. At this time, he received a text message from Chu Feifei. Lin Feng clicked it and was shocked. The other party sent a photo. The background was a few medical staff carrying a stretcher, on which lay a dark figure, whose identity and gender could no longer be distinguished. There was also a paragraph of text below. Mr. Lin, not long after you left, the celebrity's home was struck by lightning, and he was burnt to death. It was so unlucky. Lin Feng swallowed his saliva, his heart thumping. It was too fierce. It was simply against the will of heaven. I thought it was just a simple death by lightning, but he was burnt to death. Fortunately, I was cautious. If the news leaked out, I would definitely be in trouble. Chapter 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a few pleasantries, Lin Feng hung up the phone. If possible, Chu Feifei should have less contact in the future. A rich girl who is secretly followed by bodyguards must be a slut if she is provoked casually, and from the voice on the phone, the other party was really scared. If nothing unexpected happens, she will move out of this community or even leave Suching under the interference of her family. This is also good. It's not that Lin Feng is aloof. At least for now, he really wants to develop alone. There is no way, his strength is too weak. Ding. You have successfully completed the intelligence and obtained points, 20W. The mall items have been opened. Please go and check. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. He activated the mall before, but he couldn't buy any items. All items were gray. At this moment, it was finally unlocked. He has 25W points. He should be able to spend a lot of money when he goes in. He couldn't wait to click on the mall. After entering, he glanced at it and suddenly felt a chill in his heart. It's not that the props sold in the mall are not good, but the price is ridiculously expensive. 250,000 points are not enough to spend a few times. The mall has a total of 10 pages, and currently only the 3 items on the first page can be exchanged. 2 of them are props he has experienced. Mysterious character card. 100,000 points. Entry modifier. 200,000 points. Based on the current points, these 2 props can only be used once or twice. The road to take off is full of thorns, and there is a long way to go. I have to work hard to earn points. Lin Feng is like a deflated ball, and his mood is very low. He wanted to do a big job with great expectations, but the result was indeed like this. He was somewhat unwilling to accept it, but there is no way to rush. Just like playing a game to upgrade, you have to take it step by step, and you can't get fat in one bite. He has a good mentality, comforted himself, and his mood has returned to normal. There is still 1 prop left on the first page of the mall. He can't wait to click on the interface, and he can't help but feel a little bit of expectation in his heart. It can't be that all the props start at 100,000 points, isn't that a rip-off? He opened the mall panel and looked at the 3rd unlocked prop. What the hell? What is this? Gambling. Lin Feng couldn't help but curse the quintessence of Chinese culture, and his eyes were also surprised. Strictly speaking, this can't be considered a prop, but it is full of temptation to him. Intelligence blind box, 5,000 points/time, random opening of any quality blind box. You may become rich overnight or you may have nothing to lose. Please consume carefully. Isn't this just the card drawing in the online game? The dog system also has this set. Lin Feng looked at the pitiful balance of points and decided to give up the unrealistic idea. This kind of prop must hide amazing wealth, but it is definitely not what he can consume now. He must resist the temptation and not be fooled. He is a little weak now, but relying on his existing abilities, he can get up in no time. After thinking it through, Lin Feng felt relieved. He stretched his waist and prepared to sleep. However, at this moment, he suddenly frowned and stared at a power strip on the right side of the TV. The intelligence appeared again, and the content was very scary. An ordinary power strip can be used normally, but its interior has been tampered with and some minor modifications have been made, which poses a huge threat to the privacy of the tenants. Lin Feng touched his chin thoughtfully, as if he had thought of something. He narrowed his eyes slightly, and 2 invisible lights in his pupils penetrated the power strip, and the internal structure was clear at a glance. Sure enough, in an interface in the power strip, some points were flashing faint light, very regularly. A very secretive micro camera, used for secretly filming and stealing privacy, with extremely high secrecy. More than 30 couples have suffered in this room, involving as many as 50 indecent videos. Lin Feng swallowed his saliva, his head buzzing. Unexpectedly, the news was actually encountered by him, which was a bit scary. This room must not be livable. Although he is single, he can't show his body to others, but now it's dark, the room is open, and the hotel owner refuses to refund the money. Wouldn't it be too hasty to point out the camera issue? Show the WeChat camera to the front desk. You can not only get the money back, but also get a 20,000 yuan compensation. The hotel owner will not threaten you, but will flatter you. Please don't tell the secret. 20,000 yuan is also money. Although you are not short of money now, a mosquito is still meat. You are not a policeman, just fight for your own interests, no problem. I don't know, there are cameras in other rooms. Very quickly, Lin Feng took the suspect out of the extension board, opened the door and left the room. The girl at the front desk was bored and swiping her phone. It was past 12 o'clock in the evening, and there were almost no guests coming to check in. Hello, you're the boss is sleeping, I can't shout him. I can't shout him. Sir, if you have something to say, just say it. It's already late, the boss is asleep. Little girl, do you know what this is? Can you handle it? In this kind of private hotel, most of the cashiers, waiters, front desk staff, and cleaners are relatives of the boss. Sure enough, the little girl's eyes became nervous. The female receptionist, who was gradually dominated by fear, knew what was in front of her and what consequences would be brought to the hotel if she called the police. Wait a minute, I'll call the boss. Okay. The female receptionist rushed into the emergency passage and didn't take the elevator. The boss has his own room on the 4th floor. After waiting for about 5 minutes, the hotel owner in pajamas came out of the elevator with a smile on his face. He looked around and found that there were no other guests, and seemed relieved. This, sir, it's all a misunderstanding, let's go outside to talk. Lin Feng did not object, and followed the other party out of the hotel. Where did you get this thing? That the boss asked as he walked out of the door. Boss, you are asking me? It fell out of the power strip by itself. Sir, this has nothing to do with me. It seems that someone installed it. So, you take this. It's a little compensation for your fright. Boss, don't lie to me. You didn't install it. How is it possible? I'm not a pervert, but the thing was found in my room. If it spreads, I won't be able to defend myself. Okay, I'll check out the room. Can I get a refund? No problem. Sorry to bother you. The boss smiled and took Lin Feng into the hotel. He pushed the 200 yuan room fee to Lin Feng at the front desk and sent him out. He watched Lin Feng leave, and his expression froze. Damn, how could it fall out by itself? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid? 20,000 yuan is so easy to get. You little brat, wait for it. The boss laughed coldly with a gloomy look. However, he didn't know that Lin Feng was squinting at him behind the bushes not far away. Damn, little guy, you are really not a good guy. It seems that I can only call the police. However, Lin Feng just took out his mobile phone and suddenly froze. A piece of information popped up in front of him, and the content was shocking. Chapter 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Feng couldn't believe it and couldn't help rubbing his eyes. He found that he was not mistaken, and there were a few more than before. A black-hearted businessman installed pinhole cameras in his hotel to satisfy his own preferences. These videos were also used by him for blackmail. He has illegally demanded 2 million yuan. The black-hearted boss who was targeted by his enemies. Half an hour later, his enemies came to ask for the videos but failed. He will 100% die, and the cashier at the front desk will not escape this disaster. Lin Feng looked at his watch. Half an hour later, it will be 0:40 midnight. There are no pedestrians around here. This is the peak period of some vicious crimes. He is not stupid. Staying is still risky. There are many cases of people being killed for watching the excitement these days. He is not that stupid. If he stays, he will have a high chance of getting a considerable bounty, and his image will be significantly improved. There is such a good thing. Lin Feng was stunned. He could get money and improve his image significantly. If he missed it, he would be sorry for his ancestors. After thinking about it, he decided to stay. It was not because he was impulsive. With his strength, he was enough to deal with any danger. He was mainly curious about what could improve his image. Time passed by. In the hotel, the boss did not go to rest, but played with his mobile phone at the front desk. The female cashier should be his relative, but she went to sleep in the lounge. 0:40 came in a blink of an eye. Lin Feng's eyelids could hardly hold up. Just when he was about to fall asleep, he suddenly shuddered and became energetic. A middle-aged man in black appeared at the corner. He was wearing a hoodie and a mask. He could not see what he looked like. He stood in the corner stealthily, constantly looking at the hotel 10 meters away. It seemed that he found that the target was still at the front desk so late, and there was no one around him. The exposed eyes showed a trace of madness, and the middle-aged man put his hands in his pockets and approached the hotel. The middle-aged man who was secretly filmed while having an affair with his lover was blackmailed for 100,000 yuan, but the secretly filmed video was still published on the internet. Now that the truth has been exposed and his family has been destroyed, he came with anger to seek revenge. 10 minutes later, after killing 2 people in a row, the middle-aged man fled for fear of crime and escaped the police's first arrest, causing great trouble to Suzhou's public security. In the next week, there will be no news about the murderer. The people of Suzhou are in danger and panic, and the economy has been greatly affected. The murderer will be arrested in 20 days. In order to escape legal sanctions, 3 citizens unfortunately became hostages and were stabbed by the criminals and hospitalized. Lin Feng vaguely guessed the intention of the system, the so-called improvement of image. Can it be desperate? The furious middle-aged man found his target, and his killing intent was full. 5 minutes later, blood splattered on the spot. The sudden pop-up information scared Lin Feng. The middle-aged man had already entered the hotel, and the boss was still playing with his mobile phone stupidly, not realizing that death was approaching. "Damn it, you have hurt me so much, I want you dead." The middleman rushed into the hotel, without any dialogue, cursed, and went up with a knife. The boss subconsciously raised his head, his eyes froze, and he was about to run, but it was too late. The middle-aged man pressed him down angrily, raised his hand and stabbed the other's lower abdomen with 2 knives. The boss rolled his eyes on the spot, tilted his head, and lost his movement. At this time, after hearing the movement, the front desk clerk who was sleeping in the lounge opened the door to check the situation. When she saw the boss lying in a pool of blood, she was obviously frightened and couldn't move. Her face was pale. Without saying a word, the murderer took a quick step, covered the other person's mouth with his hand, and directly cut his neck with a knife. He looked around coldly, and after confirming that there was no problem, he put the murder weapon back in his pocket, lit a cigarette, and left calmly. Lin Feng, who witnessed the murder process, had a dry mouth and a buzzing head. This kind of scene has only been introduced in the news, or in TV dramas and movies, but is it the same thing? The impact of witnessing it with your own eyes is not at the same level at all. Even if you are terribly strong, you are still scared to the point of weakness. Suddenly, Lin Feng was startled and quickly hid in the dark because the other party actually walked towards him. Fortunately, this guy walked away and soon disappeared into the darkness. A murderer who is about to disappear, he plans to play under the light. His hiding place for the next 5 days is 1 kilometer away. 124, room 201, Aimin New Village. The murderer who will be wanted by the police in 24 hours, reward, 200,000. The murderer's figure finally disappeared. Lin Feng came back to his senses, and a light flashed in his head. This grandson ran away for 20 days before he was caught, but for the next 5 days, only he knew his whereabouts. If he reports him. Lin Feng's face gradually twisted, and finally he laughed nervously. Others are afraid of murderers, but he is not. With this small body, he wins if the knife can be stuck. 20W bounty, a real ATM. Not only can it eliminate harm for the people, but it can also make money, and mainly improve the image. There is no reason not to do such a good thing, but the most urgent thing is to have a reasonable reason to make everything more natural. Lin Feng suddenly laughed. This is too coincidental. He just has no place to live, so why not rent a house in Aimin New Village? I am really a genius. A series of plans were planned, and just as Lin Feng was about to leave, a figure suddenly appeared in the hotel. Someone found 2 dead bodies on the first floor, which alarmed the entire hotel. Soon, a shrill siren sounded in the distance. Lin Feng quietly left the scene without alarming anyone. The next day at noon, Lin Feng came to a real estate agency at the gate of Aimin New Village. As a result, he was stopped by the police at the gate before he entered. A policeman in his 30s said in a serious tone, "Sir, please show me your ID card." Lin Feng took out his ID card and smiled. "What's wrong?" "Something happened, The other party looked through Lin Feng's ID card and scanned it on the instrument. After confirming that there was no problem, he returned the ID card to him. Hey, there was a homicide case in the middle of the night yesterday. 2 people died. The murderer has not been caught yet. It's not safe to go out less after dark. Murder case. 2 people died. So serious? Is there no surveillance? Lin Feng put the ID card in his pocket and asked in surprise. I took a picture of the person, but the other party was wearing a mask and a hat. I can't confirm his identity for the time being. Anyway, be careful. Thank you, you are really hard. Our duty is to ensure the safety of the people. If you find any suspicious situation, you must call the police in time. Lin Feng nodded and walked into the door of the agency. This is a small agency with 2 employees, 1 man and 1 woman. It is obviously a husband and wife shop, there are no customers in the shop, and the business is very quiet. There are police officers checking at the door again. The 2 are listlessly browsing their phones and did not notice Lin Feng coming in. A couple who look distant but are in harmony, they are texting and flirting with each other's lovers. P.S. Please urge for more updates, 5-star praise, and support. If you are reading again, please give me a shout, thank you. Chapter 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The social atmosphere is going downhill, they are getting along like this, but they don't have any conflicts. It's so weird, people on the internet say that couples nowadays just live together. Although it's exaggerated, it does make sense. The couple played their own games and didn't notice Lin Feng coming in. Is anyone here? I want to rent a house. The boss didn't even raise his head and said casually, how big is the rent? What's the budget? You can choose any budget, 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, and try to make the decoration newer. At this time, the boss's wife put down her phone, took a look at Lin Feng, and found that he was a handsome guy, and smiled instantly. The boss's wife who has evil thoughts about you, this woman is really not a good person. She is old enough to be his mother, but her thoughts are so dirty. Little brother, rent a house. Tell me your requirements. Damn, you are so old, aren't you ashamed? The boss put down his phone, looking unhappy. Humph, you're not much better, so you're allowed to find a vixen. The boss's wife was not willing to be outdone and retorted. You bitch, why didn't the murderer last night chop you to death? Oh, you curse me to death. Seeing that the 2 were about to fight, Lin Feng quickly stopped them. Are you 2 still doing business? I just want to rent a house. The couple looked at each other and temporarily stopped arguing. How big a house do you want? 70 square meters, 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, simple decoration. There is only one in this community at present, the monthly rent is 1,000, the old decoration is more than 10 years old, the environment is not very good, you can see for yourself. The boss's attitude was not very good, as if he had eaten a powder keg. Lin Feng didn't care. Anyway, renting a house was also for the bounty, and he would run away when the murderer was caught. And the boss's wife, who was in her early 40s, was really a slut. Constant body language and eye hints, those with poor self-control might not be able to withstand it. Okay, let's do this. The boss opened the drawer, took out a stack of pre-printed contracts and threw them in front of Lin Feng. 1 deposit and 3 payments, if there's no problem, just sign the contract. A contract with no major problems, relatively reasonable. There was no problem with the contract. Lin Feng was too lazy to waste time, signed it, got the key and prepared to leave. Little brother, can you leave your WeChat? Lin Feng was startled. This boss lady was quite scary. The boss lady of the agency who cheated on a married man, his lover has been exposed. 5 minutes later, the original wife went all out and made trouble. The boss lady was seriously injured and hospitalized. Good guy, the retribution came so quickly. Boss lady, forget it, we are not the same age, goodbye. Lin Feng ran away, and when he walked out of the agency, the police were gone. Not far away, a van stopped on the side of the road, and a woman in her 50s got out of the car, followed by 4 middle-aged men and walked towards the agency. an angry woman who suffered emotional betrayal will make a scene at the agency and beat up the mistress in 3 minutes. Lin Feng shuddered and didn't dare to look any more, for fear of affecting the fish pond. Sure enough, when he entered the community, there were sounds of beating and scolding behind him, as well as the screams of the boss's wife. Lin Feng didn't even look at him and quickly entered Aimin New Village. Minding one's own business is the secret to living a long life. New villages like this, which have been around for decades, are very large, and the roads inside are complicated. If you come here for the first time, you will definitely get lost, but for Lin Feng, there is no such worry. Under the precise navigation of the titanium alloy eyes, he soon found the building where the rental house was. His eyes covered the entire building, and dense intelligence prompts popped up in front of him, making his scalp numb. The building where the fugitive murderer lives, he is in room 201. A nightclub girl lives opposite the 4th floor. After accompanying the guests to drink at night, she will most likely take the guests home to earn extra money. On the 1st floor lives a group of hooligans, who just turned 18 and feel invincible. They make a living by extortion. On the top floor lives a group of thieves, who have been stealing in the nearby old community for many years and are very rampant. On the 3rd floor lives a group of social people who lend money at high interest rates. Once you borrow money from them, your life will be ruined. Oh my God! Lin Feng's head was buzzing and about to explode. He actually rented the house opposite the murderer. He glanced at the side of the building. Although the paint on the number of buildings was almost peeling off, he could still see the 3 numbers 124. That's fine. The key is how many talents gathered in this building. Lin Feng's forehead was covered with cold sweat. It's not that he was timid, but the living environment was too bad. If someone without special abilities lives here, he may be led to a pit at any time. Lin Feng took a deep breath and entered the corridor. As soon as I entered, I saw 2 people wearing revealing clothes and heavy makeup. The young women came out. They looked to be in their early 20s, with average looks, but with the help of cosmetics, they were still quite attractive. Handsome guy, are you new here? The price is green bubble. Handsome guy, you are not very old. Come to play with me when you are free tonight. Experienced nightclub girl found her prey and tried to trick him into spending money. Full of routines, Lin Feng didn't bother to pay attention to them and went straight up the stairs. Damn, what are you pretending to be? Stupid, you have already lived here, and you still despise us. Go find him later. I don't believe he can bear it. The 2 walked out of the building cursing. Feng didn't rush to open the door of 201, but glanced at 202 behind him. He raised his eyebrows slightly, and his eyes instantly penetrated the shabby wooden door and saw the whole picture inside. The house was very shabby, rough, with only a hard bed. The ground was full of garbage. There were leftover stewed dishes and wine bottles. A middle-aged man was sleeping on the wooden bed. A murderer who has killed 2 people is sleeping. He is very alert and will wake up at the slightest noise. It would be a lie to say that he is not nervous, but a 200,000 yuan reward is not a small amount. 10 minutes ago, he saw the wanted order for this person. At present, the police have collected a series of evidence such as his fingerprints and body fluids at the crime scene, and through the investigation of the deceased's network of relationships, the identity of the murderer can be basically determined. But this guy played the dark under the lamp, and the police did not catch him for a while. At this time, footsteps were heard downstairs. In order to avoid being discovered, he quickly opened the door and entered 202. Just now, 2 nightclub girls walked upstairs. Which floor does the guy just now live on? In this building, only 202 is vacant, so he probably lives here. Humph, pretending to be noble, I will definitely deal with him when I have the chance. Forget it. If you have time for that, you might as well think about how to choose a high-quality resource to work at KTV at night. Lin Feng's eyes penetrated the wooden door and saw 2 women walking upstairs. Lin Feng was not angry either. His target was the wanted criminal next door, 2 nightclub girls. After all, he was not from the same world. 2 nightclub girls who were about to be killed. The murderer next door asked the 2 to come to his house for service due to physiological needs, and the 2 died due to excessive movements. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. His chance had come. Chapter 26. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Feng didn't care about the life and death of the two nightclub girls, it mainly gave him the opportunity to report. The wanted criminal's photo published online was wearing a mask ordinary people can only judge by physical features, and the police did it on purpose to give the murderer an illusion that his true appearance has not been exposed. This will make him careless and think he is safe. In fact, as long as this guy walks around the street, he will be targeted within 1 minute. Lin Feng thought about it and used the perspective eye again. When his eyes touched the opposite door, a piece of information jumped out simultaneously. In 2 hours, 2 nightclub girls living upstairs will enter this door, and their lives will dissipate 40 minutes after entering 201. In 2.5 hours, there will be a big noise in room 201. Use the noise to break into the room, subdue the criminals and call the police. Not only can you get a 200,000 reward, but you can also establish a high-quality personality. Lin Feng lit a cigarette to calm himself down. It was the first time he did this kind of thing. It would be a lie to say that he was not panicking. He will have to break into the house and arrest someone later, because the person opposite is a wanted criminal who kills without blinking an eye. Although there is a system to back it up, it is still risky. You can't joke with your life even if you mess around. For safety, he will not miss any details. This house is very shabby, even worse than 201 next door. Lin Feng found a chair that was about to fall apart and sat at the door. With his eyes looking through the door, he was ready to monitor in real time for 2 hours. If you don't want any accidents, you must make sure that no details are missed. And Lin Feng doesn't want to save the 2 nightclub girls. Whether they can survive depends on their luck. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, 2 hours passed, and Lin Feng's feet were full of cigarette butts. There was a sudden movement in the quiet corridor. Sure enough, 2 night heads came down from upstairs and knocked on the door opposite. The 2 nightclub girls who received high service fees have quit their night work. Tonight they will serve the wanted criminal well. The real show has begun. Lin Feng did not use his X-ray vision. From the intelligence, the scene that will happen soon will definitely not be very beautiful, so it is better not to watch it. If you are disgusted, it will not be worth it. About 20 minutes later, there was indeed a noise from the opposite door. However, in this kind of community where all tenants live, the people living there are mixed, and even if someone passes by, they are too lazy to care about other people's business. Hey, what are you doing? Can you be gentle? Ah. What are you doing? You are crazy. Xiaoling, let's go quickly, this guy has a problem with his brain. Ah. It hurts so much. You. Let me go. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows and stared at the door nervously. Room where a murder is happening. 10 minutes left. This murderer will have 2 more lives. Call the police now, and the police will catch the murderer red-handed when they arrive. He did not dare to neglect it, and took out his mobile phone to call the police. Hello, I am the resident of 202, Building 124, Aimin New Village. Just now, there was a scream, crying and a cry for help from 201 opposite. I suspect something is wrong inside. Okay, I won't act rashly. I'll wait for you to come. After hanging up the phone, Lin Feng was nervous and excited. He wanted to break into the house several times, but he held back. There are no cameras in this place. If he rushes in, if the murderer runs away, he will be unable to defend himself. He doesn't want to be the scapegoat. The cry for help from the opposite door became softer, and it could not even be heard. A murder is happening in this apartment. 2 women will be killed in 1 minute. Lin Feng was shocked. Did people die just like that? He remembered the intelligence tip. If he intervened, no one would die. At this moment, footsteps were heard downstairs, and soon several policemen came into view. Lin Feng quickly opened the door. The leading policeman saw Lin Feng and asked solemnly, "Did you call the police?" "It was me. There was a cry for help just now, but now it's gone. I don't know what happened." When the policeman heard this, his heart was in his throat. Things have not been peaceful recently. There is a murderer who has not been caught yet. If something happens again, it will be troublesome. He and his colleagues exchanged glances and prepared to break the door violently. The murderer in this house heard the noise outside, temporarily gave up the murder, and prepared to escape through the window. Lin Feng was startled and looked at the window in the corridor. Sure enough, a sound of glass breaking was heard. The policeman who broke the door exclaimed, "Boss, there are two people here. I don't know if they are dead. Why don't you call an ambulance? Where is the murderer? It seems that he jumped out of the window. Damn it, hurry up and chase him. At this time, another policeman rushed into the corridor. He pointed out the window in horror and said anxiously, "Boss, the one who called the police is..." A young man jumped from the corridor window. Ah. Why did he jump? He said he was going to chase the murderer, so we should hurry up to support him. Fuck, this kid is desperate, hurry up and find someone to chase him, if he gets into trouble, we will all be in trouble. Other police officers also reacted. Lin Feng is a citizen. If he is physically injured, they will be blamed, losing his job is a small matter. If it gets out, the Suzhou police will be ashamed. Soon, a large number of police cars appeared at the gate of Aimin New Village. Through Skynet it was easy to lock the location of Lin Feng and the murderer. When more than a dozen police officers arrived 1 kilometer away, they were completely dumbfounded. At the gate of a park, Lin Feng stepped on a person with one foot, cursing. Run. Why don't you run? If it weren't for the rule of law, I would kill you. Don't pretend to be dead. Get up. Lin Feng grabbed the man's collar and pulled him up. The murderer was terrified and thought he could run away, but the young man was like Superman and caught up with him in the blink of an eye, and this man was extremely powerful. He kicked him 2 or 3 meters away, and before he could get up, he appeared in front of him as if he could teleport. Fists as big as sandbags rained down, and his head instantly turned into a pig's head. Damn it, you're still not convinced? Come on, I'll let you know why the flowers are so red. Assistant Mr. Lin, hand him over to us, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine, but he seems to have been hit hard by me, you won't hold me responsible, right? The leading policeman glanced at the murderer, his eyelids twitched, and his heart was pounding. It was too cruel, his face was deformed. Boss, based on fingerprint comparison and body fluid DNA comparison, it can be confirmed that he is Liang Shan, the murderer of the hotel murder case 3 days ago. Really? Yes, there is no doubt about it. The middle-aged policeman was overjoyed. He grabbed Lin Feng's hand and said excitedly, I am Dong Shan from the Municipal Bureau's Serious Crime Unit. Thank you very much for your help. He is the murderer who escaped 3 days ago. Thanks to your help this time, I thank you on behalf of the Sucheng Police. Chapter 27. You are listening at novelfull.audio. These are what I should do. Don't be polite. Every man has the responsibility to eliminate violence and protect the good. Lin Feng raised his head and chest, with a righteous spirit. The middle-aged policeman showed admiration, and he smiled. My surname is Yao, you are the bravest young man I have ever seen. Hello, my name is Lin Feng, you don't have to be so polite. Although I am poor, I also know that I must abide by the law and not go astray. Yao Gang nodded with satisfaction, and his favorability towards Lin Feng was rising. It has been a long time since he saw a young man with such a positive outlook on life, and he was a little excited for a while. Nowadays, human nature is cold and cold. Not to mention catching wanted criminals, even if they see someone fall, few people will help. It is rare for the young man in front of him to be so brave. Lin Feng smiled, but he was a little nervous. Although he did not do anything illegal, ordinary people don't want the police to get too close. Just when he was about to find a reason to run away, a message popped up in front of him. A brave and experienced policeman will be transferred to the provincial department in 3 years. He appreciates young people with positive values. If you win his favor, it will be of great help to you when the time is right. No way, this is possible. It's outrageous. Although Lin Feng is a little reluctant, he can't ignore the prompt information. At least the policeman in front of him will be of great help to him in the future, and he can't miss it. Turn on your eloquence and make yourself a righteous and positive young man. In 5 minutes, a god-level experienced baby will appear, which will completely make this senior police officer look at you with new eyes. Shaolin. Shaolin. Hey, I'm here. Shaolin, are you still a student? Yes, I'm from Suzhou University. Yes, why did you rent a house here? Judging from your accent, you should be a local. Officer Yao, to be honest, I'm an orphan. What? Orphan? I'm really sorry, I'm presumptuous. It doesn't matter. My parents died in a car accident half a year ago. I was desperate at the time, but now I've cheered up. I want to take responsibility for my own life and be a positive young man. With a firm gaze and a righteous spirit, he is not short-sighted even though he is poor. He can cheer up even when he encounters family changes. Yao Gang is very satisfied. He really didn't make a mistake. A senior police officer whose favorability towards you has increased by 100%, continuously input positive energy views, and his favorability towards you will increase rapidly. Xiao Lin, you surprised me. Officer Yao, this is not surprising, right? Although my parents are gone, I am still studying. I have understood since I was a child that good cannot prevail over evil, and I must have a heart of justice. Even if I encounter criminals with weapons that will harm my personal safety, I will never compromise. Well said, China is in need of young people with a sense of justice and blood like you. Yao Gang patted Lin Feng's shoulder heavily, his eyes were very excited, as if he had found a treasure, the senior police officer whose favorability towards you has increased by 500%. He regards you as an ambitious young man who promotes positive energy. It will take 30 seconds to be completely moved and convinced by you. Lin Feng was very curious, what kind of opportunity could make Yao Gang's favorability towards him directly max out. A few tens of seconds passed in a flash, just when the atmosphere was about to cool down, footsteps sounded on the stairs, a few energetic young men with yellow hair came down, cigarettes in their mouths, and they seemed to be unaware of what happened downstairs. The homes of these idle people in society hide illegal drugs. If they are caught, they will be imprisoned for life. This case will allow Yao Gang to rise to the top and rise step by step. Lin Feng's heart jumped, and he instantly understood the so-called opportunity. This is to give Yao Gang a chance. You guys don't have jobs. Comrade police, it's not illegal to have no job, right? The ID card has been checked, and there is no problem. We are leaving. Well, don't wander around if you have nothing to do. A murder just happened here. The murderer of the hotel murder last night was just caught. Don't wander around. The yellow-haired leader's eyes flickered and his expression was a little nervous. The police didn't think much about it. Most of the gangsters had no skills and were timid. It was normal to be afraid when they heard that the murderer lived downstairs. Comrade police, nothing's wrong, we're leaving. Yao Gang sighed, his eyes full of disappointment. The difference between these social scum and Lin Feng is obvious. It's so sad, young and not doing their job properly. Hearing Yao Gang's muttering, Lin Feng's heart moved, he knew his chance had come. Officer Yao, those guys are not normal. Huh? Not normal? Yes, I had forgotten it, but now I remember it. When they moved in yesterday, I saw them holding a few Ziploc bags with the noodles are filled with something like flour. At that time, I heard a few people muttering, saying that they would sell it at the factory and keep some for themselves to eat, so that they would have living expenses for the next few months. Officer Yao, that thing couldn't be. Yao Gang's eyelids twitched slightly, and he didn't have time to answer Lin Feng, so he quickly asked his men to stop them from leaving. The little yellow-haired man asked nervously, What are you doing? We haven't broken the law. Lin Feng suddenly said, I want to report them for selling banned drugs. Nonsense, where did you get into trouble, you little brat? The yellow-haired man's face was very panicked, and his eyes became nervous. He pretended to grab Lin Feng's collar, but Yao Gang grabbed his wrist. It hurts, it hurts. Let go quickly. You dare to hurt people in front of the police, you are very brave. Police comrades, you have to be reasonable, and you need evidence to arrest people. This kid wronged me, and you don't care. You are suspicious. He just provided clues to the police. How can he be wronged? I see that you are a little guilty and very emotional. How is it possible? I am wronged, so I can't be excited. I have sent people to your house to check. There will be results soon. The yellow-haired man turned pale and his eyes became erratic. With more than 10 years of police career and rich criminal investigation experience, Yao Gang's pupils shrank and his eyes became sharp. He saw at a glance that the other party was guilty, whether it was facial expression or body feedback. It was very obvious. Suddenly, the yellow-haired man suddenly jumped up and strangled Lin Feng's neck with his backhand, with a shining dagger against it. Don't mess around. Let the person go. Even if it is contraband, you have to look at the weight. You may not necessarily die, but if you kidnap others and the hostages are hurt, you will definitely die. Damn it, I don't believe you policemen, and I know that once the truth comes out, I will be finished. Yao Gang was shocked, and a chill ran up from the soles of his feet to his forehead. Plans cannot keep up with changes. I didn't expect that catching a murderer would lead to a big fish, but he was very clear-headed. Lin Feng was held hostage. No matter what, even if the criminal escaped today, he had to rescue him. However, just as he was thinking about how to stabilize the prisoner, Lin Feng suddenly blinked and said, "Brother, there are many people here. You can't run away even if you hold me hostage. Take me away first. Don't hurt others. I am willing to be a hostage." Chapter 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yao Gang was dumbfounded, and so were the other policemen under his command. Even Huangmao and his gang were stunned, and they were at a loss. They were vicious thugs who were engaged in the business of killing people, but now that they were held at bay by a dagger, this guy was still looking like he was ready to die. Huangmao's eyes flashed with a sinister light. This was a provocation to them, and this guy thought he was filming a movie. Damn, who do you think I am? Huangmao's self-esteem was greatly insulted, and the dagger in his hand unconsciously increased its strength. Yao Gang was shocked, and cold sweat flowed down his forehead. Don't be impulsive, killing is a serious crime. Damn, can you let me go without killing now? I warn you, if you don't want this kid to die, you policemen, get out of here immediately. I will only give you 5 minutes. Okay, I promise you. Yao Gang didn't dare to take risks. Lin Feng was just an ordinary citizen, and it would be troublesome if something happened. A small thug who looks strong but is actually weak. He is scared to death, as timid as a mouse, selling banned drugs just to make money, and he dare not kill anyone even if he has 100 courages. The probability of you being killed by him is 0, and the probability of being injured is 0. Lin Feng remained calm and looked at the younger brother behind Huangmao. These ugly guys were almost scared to death. Their feet were shaking, their faces were as white as paper, and their eyes were erratic, and they were extremely guilty. These small thugs have no loyalty, they follow Huangmao just to make money, facing legal sanctions. In order to get a chance of leniency, the probability of turning against him is 100%. It is somewhat funny that a group of idiots kidnapped themselves. Such a good opportunity to establish a character, wasting it would be too sorry for their ancestors. Humph, I, Lin Feng, and criminals are irreconcilable. Officer Yao, leave me alone, arrest them. Yao Gang's eyelids twitched wildly, and his eyes burst into a gleam of light. Facing the criminals holding him hostage, he could still stand firm and take a stand for justice. The more he looked at Lin Feng, the more he liked him. There were hurried footsteps on the stairs, and the young police officer under him looked pale. Yao Gang's heart skipped a beat and he asked, "How is it?" A large amount of contraband was found in their house, about 30 grams. How audacious. Damn it, don't come over, or I'll stab him to death. The little yellow-haired man saw that he was completely exposed and started to jump off the wall. Hey, you guys, don't you want to make meritorious service for your crimes? Lin Feng asked calmly, looking at the gangster behind him. Damn it, don't stir up trouble, you are being held hostage by me now. Oh, then stab me to death. You, don't think I don't dare. Come on, bucket, haven't you eaten yet? The little yellow-haired man's forehead was covered with cold sweat, and his mouth trembled. He panicked, because he really didn't dare to do it, killing people 100% for peanuts. He didn't want to die. You guys are just accomplices, you're taking this road for your family, right? Sure enough, as soon as Lin Feng finished speaking, the eyes of several people changed, and there was a wavering look. A gangster who took this road to improve his family's financial situation. He just didn't want to be looked down upon. a gangster who took the risk just to make himself a superior person and let his old mother hold his head up high. A gangster whose loyalty to Huangmao Big Brother was almost zero. The main reason for taking this road of no return was poverty. He didn't want to pay the price of his life for it. Lin Feng was full of confidence. They were just friends who only cared for food and wine. Huangmao had been secretly isolated. You guys don't look like bad people to me. Don't go down the same path. You are not the main culprit. If you hurt me with him, your life will be ruined. Will your parents and children hold their heads up in the future? As long as you stop at the brink, help the police catch the main culprit, and explain the facts of the crime, you will definitely be given a lenient sentence. You, don't listen to him, this kid is lying to you. The little yellow-haired man was panicking, and the eyes of these little followers were not right. They stared at him eagerly, which made him feel uneasy. Why would I lie to you? The law will not let a bad guy go, but it will not give any criminal no chance. Don't be stubborn. Life in prison is not easy. What do you have after losing your freedom? Life is only a few decades long. Are you willing to give up everything for this person? The brainwashing degree has reached 100%, and the mentally rebellious young men are about to make meritorious contributions. Quick, arrest the main criminal and hand him over to the police. You still have a chance. This voice added fuel to the fire, and these gangsters were completely defeated. He is right, this grandson said he is our big brother, and he took all the money, we bear all the risks, there is no need to die with him. Damn it, I have tolerated him for a long time. Everyone come together. A group of people rushed up, and Huangmao was scared to death. He pushed Lin Feng away and shouted, "Fuck, you crazy people." This kid still wanted to run, let alone the police. His brothers only took a few minutes to pin him to the ground and made him unable to move. Lin Feng touched his neck, pretended to be relieved, and smiled. "Officer Yao, the man has been subdued, you can take him back for interrogation." "Nonsense, Xiaolin, you can't do anything reckless when you encounter such things in the future, it's too dangerous." Yao Gang felt a little scared. If Lin Feng got into trouble, he would be blamed. Apart from the official punishment, he would feel guilty for the rest of his life. "Officer Yao, this spirited young man has no ability. If he really dared to kill someone, he would not have fallen to selling these things. I just know that he definitely doesn't have the courage. It's still too reckless. Don't take such risks in the future." "Okay, I will be more low-key next time." "Old Yao, the people are under control. Take them all back, collect evidence, and arrange interrogation." "Yes." Yao Gang's mood finally calmed down. Lin Feng brought him too many surprises. Senior Criminal Police's appreciation of you has increased by 1000%. In his eyes, you are a high-quality young man with a positive outlook and strong abilities. A police elite with a bright career and about to rise to prominence. Lin Feng was quite satisfied. Even if it was good for him, it would still be good for the people if such a high-quality policeman could be promoted to a leader. "Xiao Lin, come back with me and record a simple statement. Within 3 working days, the 200,000 yuan reward will be credited to your account. It is tax-free and all yours." "Okay." Lin Feng got into Yao Gang's police car and left the community. This place was completely blocked by the police, but for some reason, the news media only reported the homicide. Relatively speaking, the sale and use of contraband is worse than the homicide. Little Huangmao is just a small karami. In order to catch the big fish behind him, the police did not make it public, and it was obvious that they were ready to catch the cancer lurking in Suzhou. Chapter 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow, you lied to me, I was screwed by you. I helped to arrest people and confessed everything I knew, why do you still put handcuffs on me? Liar, you will die a miserable death. Lin Feng came out of the police station and happened to meet Huangmao's 3 younger brothers. Looking at their condition, there is no chance of leniency, the difference is whether to spend the rest of your life in prison or eat peanuts. Shut up, you still fantasize about leniency, you are also the main culprit, don't you know? If you plead guilty later, there will still be a chance. The three were forcibly taken away by the police, and they will face the most severe legal sanctions. Lin Feng's heart was calm. To deal with these scums and get some benefits. By the way, it was simply a pleasure. Yao Gang sent Lin Feng out of the police station and enthusiastically stretched out his hand to shake his hand. He still couldn't hide the admiration in his eyes. Xiao Lin, thank you so much this time. Officer Yao, this is what I should do. What a pity. It would be great if you were from the police academy. Huh, there are so many elites in the police academy. I am definitely not as good as them. Hey, I think you are no worse than them. What a pity. Everyone has their own ambitions. Xiao Lin, I hope we will have a chance to meet again in the future. Officer Yao, I will definitely do it. Please stay. I'm leaving first. Looking at Lin Feng's back as he left, Yao Gang could only shake his head with regret. Old Yao, the director asked you to thoroughly investigate the contraband matter. The voice of a colleague came from behind. Yao Gang put away his thoughts and his face became serious. Let's go. This matter must be thoroughly investigated. Find out the mastermind behind it and eliminate the trouble forever. After leaving the police station, Lin Feng found a hotel and booked a room to stay. Aimin New Village is definitely not for him to stay. He is a murderer and a contraband seller, and the environment is also poor. The main thing is that I have to stay out of the spotlight for a while, otherwise I will be everywhere when something goes wrong, which will easily attract the attention of those who are interested. This is an ordinary business hotel, and Lin Feng did not enter the room immediately. The hygiene of this room is sloppy, and the internal environment is average, but it is very safe. There are no cameras or other devices that spy on privacy, so you can live there with confidence. The type of guests in this hotel are on business trips and travel, and there are no people of questionable character living here. Lin Feng was mixed with joy and sorrow. The living environment is pretty good, and the safety level is also acceptable, but there are no questionable people, so I can't meet business opportunities. He was tired after working for a few days, so he went into the room, washed up simply, and fell asleep on the bed. Lin Feng was awakened by the vibration of his mobile phone. When he took out his mobile phone, he couldn't help but grin. The 20W bounty has arrived, not a penny more or less. Now his savings have reached 3.2 million. He was so excited that he almost cried. It was not shameful. He had never seen so much money in his life. You have completed the intelligence, completion, perfect, reward points, 50W, remaining points, 75W. The gold finger panel popped up, and there was no change. There were still only 3 props in the mall, and he still couldn't afford it. This couldn't go on. 75W points were not too few, but they couldn't afford to squander. Lin Feng's eyes were fixed on the first prop. The 5W points intelligence blind box was shining with a mysterious blue light. He covered it with his consciousness, and a note popped up. This prop will randomly open various types of intelligence. The quality depends entirely on luck. This prop has the nature of gambling. Please use it carefully. Once a loss occurs, the points will not be returned. Lin Feng took a deep breath and his eyes became deep. He was also a good player in passing the 3 levels back then. Although he eventually owed hundreds of thousands of small loans, he also caught a long dragon. Apart from the skills, his luck is actually pretty good, and now he has a golden finger. Can't he predict the future? He smiled sinisterly, his eyes full of expectation, but the next moment he collapsed on the bed with a face full of disappointment. System props are strictly prohibited from peeping. Your ability is invalid. Damn dog system, forget it, bear it. I must give him a taste of color when I find a chance in the future. Take a chance to turn a bicycle into a motorcycle, and seek wealth and honor in danger. With a thought, his points instantly decreased by 50W. A suspended text appeared in front of him. Consume points -50W, remaining 25W, exchange for intelligence blind box *10.10. Small boxes with blue light appeared in front of him, very mysterious. He rubbed his hands, and his heart was very excited. It's exciting to open a blind box, and I don't know what good things are inside. Blind box of intelligence *10 opened. There will be heavy rain in this area in 3 days, which will last for 2 days. this someone urinated and defecated on the rooftop of the hotel. 1 day later, Suzhou. Officials will introduce new guidelines for future urban planning. A car accident will occur in Longan Road, 3 kilometers away, in an hour, with no casualties. 10 minutes later, a middle-aged man who illegally fished 2 kilometers away will be fined. I have special intelligence. Lin Feng's expression changed from excitement, to calm, to distortion, and finally to hideous. It would be fine if they were all empty boxes, but he was given so much useless intelligence. What does urination and defecation in public, heavy rain, have to do with him? Lin Feng finished reading 9 blind boxes in one breath, feeling hopeless, and no longer looking forward to it. He glanced at the last blind box and was originally planning to close the system panel and go out for a walk. However, when his eyes came into contact with the last blind box, he could no longer look away. No. 12, Nanqing Road, Suzhou City, a long-abandoned courtyard, currently priced at 1 million yuan, contains $1 million fortune. If you don't buy it within 3 days, someone will get there first and miss out on the wealth. Damn, $1 million fortune. If I miss it, I will cry to death. He can't miss this money. He quickly took out his mobile phone and opened the navigation software to check. Soon after, Lin Feng's face showed joy. He was not unlucky. This place was in the old city, which was full of old houses. It was about 5 kilometers away from where he lived, and it took less than half an hour to take a taxi. There were only 3 days, and there must be no complications. After checking out, Lin Feng went straight to the destination. Half an hour later, Lin Feng, who almost fainted in the alley, finally found the destination. Looking at the dilapidated house in front of him, he was dumbfounded. Although it was an old house, it was also the most prosperous area in Suzhou City today, and the favorite place for foreign tourists. This house can't be so dilapidated, right? The house in front of him was indeed a detached house, but there were only a few tiles on the roof, and several large holes were shocking. The main door used the most common wooden door, but it was now rotten. The white wall of the whole house had all fallen off, revealing the gray and black inside. Lin Feng couldn't tell the value of this house, but the style was very much like a haunted house. In addition, the alleys in the ancient city were sparsely populated and the sun couldn't shine in, giving people a gloomy feeling. The priceless old house, with a lot of hidden secrets, will be sold in 3 days for 600 W. Lin Feng was confused. He didn't have that much money in his hand now. Chapter 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Did the dog system tease him? He came to tell him that 6 million was not enough. Moreover, the house was worth 6 million, and the hidden wealth was only a few million. It was not worth buying at all. He did not understand. Would the golden finger play with him out of boredom? Suddenly, several rows of information appeared in front of him again. Lin Feng's eyes trembled, and he began to check carefully, fearing that he would miss any details. This is a century-old independent courtyard in the Republic of China. It is located in the ancient city area. The area is a tourist area with great commercial value. It is very suitable for decoration into a high-end homestay for commercial activities. Lin Feng suddenly realized that this was the case. Although this place is rarely visited, it is hidden in the city. From these alleys, it will not take long to reach some well-known attractions and more distinctive ancient streets. Tourists who want to experience the life of Suzhou in the old times generally choose the homestay here. Damn it, it costs 6 million just to buy a house, and I have to decorate it, hire employees, and finally make 9 million. I'm crazy. Lin Feng complained and felt unhappy. He thought the system was playing tricks on him. He looked at the broken house and was ready to leave immediately, without even a trace of staying. His golden finger is more suitable for making quick money and picking up bargains. At least that's the case for now. With more than 3 million in hand, I'll do a hammer business. When the time comes, I'll lose everything. Who can I cry to? However, the information in front of him suddenly became blurred, and the next moment several new information popped up. This house will be bought by a not-so-friendly person in 3 days. The other party spent 6.8 million and planned to invest in ABB. 2 hours after the transaction is completed, this person will encounter a house collapse accident during a field investigation and top decoration plan and will be disabled for life. Lin Feng was speechless. This was such a rip-off. He was crippled just after buying the house. It was so unlucky, however. Lin Feng didn't have a good impression of Xiao Rizi. If it was someone else, he would have to find a way to save it. But for Xiao Rizi, he actually felt a little excited. The young man who bought this house was very superstitious. He was scared after being smashed and thought it was a haunted house. He will sell it for 1 million yuan. Damn, so cheap. Is it true? Seeing this information, Lin Feng couldn't believe it was true. More than 6 million yuan was sold at a discount of 1 million yuan. He lost a lot of money, but he was still very sober. If it was a collapsed house, it would be useless to buy it for 1 million yuan. It was not attractive enough, so it was not worth it. Could it be that I had to decorate the house after I got it? After the house collapsed, the owner sold it for 1 million yuan. After buying it, you can find amazing wealth left decades ago in the house. Difficulty, 0. Lin Feng's eyes lit up and his heartbeat accelerated. Okay, this is how it works, right? This dog system is a fool. The value of this house is not its commercial value, but hidden inside the house. A gentleman loves talents and gets them in a proper way. If you look at the treasure mountain and leave, you deserve to be poor for life. Lin Feng squinted and smiled. It seems that he has to stay here for 3 days, waiting for the destined person to appear. 5 minutes later, Lin Feng found a homestay at the entrance of the alley and stayed there for 150 yuan a night. The environment of the homestay is very shabby. If it is not in the ancient city area, I am afraid that 50 yuan a night is too much. The boss is an old woman in her 50s, with disheveled hair and a face full of flesh. It is estimated that she weighs about 150 pounds. You can smell the unpleasant smell on the other person from a long distance. If the window of the room was not facing the courtyard, he would not stay there even if he had to pay for it. Handsome guy, are you alone? If you are lonely, we have a chat service here. Boss lady, I am not lonely, thank you, no need. Oh, you are so young, how can you not be lonely? Sister, can you give me a discount? A homestay owner lady with an empty heart, suffering from multiple gynecological diseases, with a risk factor of 100%. 1 minute later, she slipped and broke her leg when she went downstairs and was admitted to the hospital. Lin Feng's mouth twitched, and he was panicked. Fortunately, this old woman was ugly and had a little bit of beauty, so he could not fall into her trap. Auntie, you are talking nonsense. I will report you to the police for sexual harassment. Little brother, why are you so unromantic? Auntie, why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? I'm not saying you should lose weight. With this body shape, you will fall down the stairs carefully. Damn, you are such a bad mouth. Lin Feng closed the door heavily. He felt like vomiting if he faced the old door for 1 more second. Little brother, it's still daylight. If you change your mind later, remember to come downstairs to find me. As soon as the voice fell outside the door, the sound of a heavy object falling was heard. Ouch, it hurts so much. Come, someone come, my leg seems to be broken, take me to the hospital. Lin Feng stuck to the cat's eye and saw several employees downstairs rushing up and carrying the proprietress down. Soon, several doctors in white coats entered the BB and carried the old woman out. The ill-intentioned BB proprietress fractured her calf and will be discharged after 2 weeks of hospitalization. Lin Feng left the cat's eye with satisfaction. Without being harassed, he could wait patiently for the opportunity to appear. But the car could not drive into this place, and it was really difficult for the medical staff to carry this big body out. In the next few days, Lin Feng spent his days ordering takeout. In order not to attract attention, he would also pretend to go out for a walk to kill time. On the 3rd day, he got up early. At 8 o'clock in the morning, he finished his breakfast and squatted at the window. This position just happened to be able to see the gate of the detached house. Around 12 noon, Lin Feng suddenly saw a group of people appear in his field of vision not far away. There were about 10 people on the other side, and 2 middle-aged men were standing in the front. One of them was pot-bellied, about 160 centimeters tall, wearing a gray suit, with a big belly, and his trouser waist was pulled above his lower abdomen. The most distinctive thing was the first tuft of mustache under his nose. Lin Feng could tell at a glance that he was not a Chinese, a wealthy businessman from a small life. with a family fortune of over 100 million, he was not friendly to China, and hated the people of this country in his bones. The person who was supposed to be robbed appeared, and his stay these days was not in vain. They will complete the transaction in a while, and then wait for this grandson to become disabled. Lin Feng moved his eyes to the landlord, and his brows could not help but frown. The way this kid nodded and bowed was a bit disgusting. As a Chinese, it was too wrong. Director Feng of this independent courtyard is a Chinese who yearns for and admires the culture of Zhirizi and has no bottom line. After 2 hours, he will die in his own independent courtyard, which is also the main reason why Zhirizi quickly sold this courtyard. Lin Feng's eyes lit up and he smiled happily. It feels good. Such people are a waste of food when they are alive. It is also good to make some contributions to themselves.